I'd like to call this regular council meeting of September 13th to order. Would everybody please rise? Let's remember all the victims from 9/11 9 years ago who lost their life in a tragic terrorist attack. And let's also remember one of our crossing guards, Anthony Tony Marino, who worked on the corner of Pond and Jefferson Avenue for, I can't tell you how many years, 20 years or more, who was a fixture there and lost his life Saturday to a massive heart attack. So let's remember them, and former councilmen. Oh, that's so nice. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Want to do roll call, please?
Mr. Lutz?
Here.
Mr. Cullen? Here. Mr. Trunnell?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Musi?
Here.
Mr. Sabatini?
Here.
Mr. Flint?
Here.
Mr. Di Giuseppe?
Here. We have a couple presentations tonight. First of all are the girls from the Little League State Championship team we had on the agenda tonight to be with us, but it's back to school night. And also there's a field hockey game at Truman, which they're playing under the lights, and I think half of the team is involved in that field hockey game. So hopefully they'll be in October so we could do a presentation for them. At this time, it's our honor to bring up Reverend Darrell Jones, Sr., the pastor of the Second Baptist Church, who I had the honor of meeting several times, and they're celebrating 125 years as a church. So at this time, Pastor, would you please come forward? You want to bring anybody with you, you can. Come on up.
Come on up. Let's get somebody to take the picture. You get in.
Pastor, take it, come right in here.
We don't want to block it.
No, you're fine.
Walk away. You're the stars. Hi, sweetie. How are you?
You got to start there.
You're the stars tonight. Shining brightly. It's very exciting.
It's all right. That's all right. Hello. How are you? Is everybody up here? Okay. It's okay. I'm sure you will. Is it green? No. It's okay. Okay. On behalf of Borough Council, we want to celebrate that the Second Baptist Church has been a beacon of hope for our community for over 125 years of Christian service. Congratulations, everyone. We'd like to present you with this plaque.
Thank you, sir.
And Reverend Jones, would you like to say a few words?
Just a few.
Okay.
I want to, first of all, give honor to our God and the Lord Jesus Christ for allowing us to be here in this community and even on this night. We certainly are very humbled to be able to receive such a gift, such a presentation. So on behalf of the Second Baptist Church family, we want to thank all of the council members. We want to thank also the community for supporting us over the 125 years. I don't know that there's anyone in the room right now that's 125 years old, but we do certainly thank God for allowing us and for allowing you to be a part of all that we are trying to do in this community. So again, we want to thank you, President, and
Thank you.
all of the council members
Thank you for
who
your
have
service.
supported us over the years. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I coached one of the members of the church. He was a young man, he was about 16, 17 years old at the time. And it must be a great church, because every Saturday after practice, because I live on Beaver Street, I took Tyrone over to church. His name is Tyrone Lewis, and he's now playing professional basketball in Israel. His mom's right there.
That's right. That's right. Listen, we're trying to just do the best we can.
All right.
Yes, we are. So again, we do want to say thank you to all of you for honoring us tonight with such a beautiful plaque. See?
125 more.
So again, thank you.
Thank you.
They
No, babe, but he collected on it. You have to look at the month, or a few months before they started giving him benefits.
There was a notation.
So it could be, if it was 9 years ago.
Are there any members here of the parade committee? No? Okay, we'll just wait till October for that. Okay, at this time, we have Mr. Esposito. Would you like to come up and do a presentation on behalf of the Rotary Club?
Yes, I would. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any photos with me.
Want to go to the podium?
Yes. I'm a member of the Bristol Rotary Club, and as Rotarians, we like to do community projects. And the thing we've chosen to do this year is to mark the path, the Spurline Park path. And the reason that we want to do that is I was so impressed with the Eagle Scout that put those stencils down. And he indicated to me that I was a little short of my 2-mile walk, so I extended a little bit because I want to do that every morning, and I do. And what we intend to put up there are ballards every half mile. We'll mark them, and they'll have the Rotary symbol. I had sent a photo of it to the manager, Mr. Dillon, and I hope he would circulate that with the council members so they can see what our intentions are. We would like to have your permission to do that. They would not be located on the path, but off of the path a foot or so, the same as the lights are, so they wouldn't interfere with any plowing or cleaning or walking on the path. But I think that it'll be a way of telling the community that we're part of it. We have been part of it since 1924, not as long as the previous group that was up here, but we've been around and we've been doing community service. So I hope the council will give us some consideration and approve that project. It'll be the beginning of what I see as something larger, in which we'll go along and we'll mark that path the way it was. We'll start down at Otter and Mill Street and Old Route 13, where they have the coal unloader. Not many people know that that wall is part of that. And then you can go up and there'll be various locations along the path, things that were there when I was young and when you were young, Ralph, that are no longer there. It's a really beautiful thing, and everyone in town enjoys it.
So you're saying you're going to mark it every half mile,
Every half mile, well, because...
and it's a 4-mile, so you'll have 8 of them. You'll have 8 ballards.
Right, and perhaps...
My
mine
only
is 4 or
concern,
4
Randy, is that they would be located where, like you said, plows wouldn't hit them, next to a light pole or something
Well-
where,
We'll work along with the borough foreman, Mr. Waldron.
because we
to
cut
make sure we
grass,
don't interfere with those things.
right, we got to cut grass and we got to snow plow.
Right.
And the problem is if that's just sticking up in no man's land, somebody could trip over it and The other question I have is who will maintain them if they get
We
busted
will
up?
maintain them.
So if they break one, you'll put a new one in?
Absolutely, we'll put a new
Okay.
one in.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I don't have, did you ever consider putting them on the light pole itself, like a sign that comes out?
Well, we explored many different avenues. This one was designed by Mr. Segola, and what he's done, he's taken a concrete circle-like placard, and he put the Rotary emblem, and in the center of it, he'll put the marker, will be a half a mile, 1 mile, 1.5 miles, etc. And we're going to put them on a ballard that will be raised about 1 foot above the ground, just to indicate that that's the location. Rather than putting it flush, we thought that wouldn't work because some piece of equipment or something might hit
Right.
it. And we didn't want to put it in the path because we thought that would interfere with people walking. So I walked the path and I see that all of the light fixtures are about a foot off the path, and I would think that's about where we would put it. And we will try to put them next to the light fixture because it's the perfect location.
All right.
You'll be able to see them in the evening, and it'll really be out of the way and won't cause any interference with flowers.
That's the problem. I think that at night, if you're walking and you don't see this thing sticking up a foot off the ground, somebody can really get hurt. So maybe what we can do is have Joe come in, show us the design. I seen the
Well,
design.
I sent the design to
I seen it, but
Mr.
it's pretty
Dillon.
hard to, maybe how big it's going to be, how high. Maybe we can lift it up. Maybe it needs to be 2.5 feet off the ground.
Well, I do have a template out in my car if you'd like to see what the emblem will be, but it won't be the ballard itself.
Well, Joe's always in here, so we'll talk to him,
Okay.
get something drawn up for council to look at, and then in October, we can get back to you and let you know what's what.
Thank you very
Does anybody
much.
have any questions for Mr. Esposito?
I'd just like to say that that's a very nice gesture, and I wish you guys all the luck in the world in taking the time out to put something like mile markers and half-mile markers. It's just another asset to the community. It's a great job from the
Thank you.
Rotary.
Thank you, sir. Want to explain the executive session?
Yeah, before the meeting was adjourned, council met in executive session, discussed 4 items. 2 are items which are currently in litigation, 2 items which are potentially going to go into litigation if not settled. So they're all litigation matters.
This time I'm going to open up public participation, so anybody on this side of the room would like to speak on anything, please go up to the podium and state your name. Anybody on this side of the room would like to speak on anything?
Yeah, come on.
Hello. I've been here a time before.
State your name. All for the record. We all know it, but we need to put it on record.
Valerie Spinellis.
Address, please.
Excuse me? 507 Pond Street. I've been here before once about the 503 property, and the landlord doesn't really care about that property or the people he puts in there. The cops have been out many of times with complaints. No one else, well, the seniors that live next door to them are just too old to come down. I go over
Free what, Barry?
Pond Street.
Pond Street?
I go over and I talk to him, but he just can't come down. He takes care of his sister. They have to live next to the racket, the drugs in and out all night long partying. You say something to them, they're screaming and cursing at you. So I had a problem with them again on the weekend. It's the second weekend I had to call. And I wake up the next morning and my car's all scratched up all
Talk to
the
the
way down
mayor
to
about it?
No, I haven't.
Bobby, you want to?
That house has been an issue for years, and...
Well, we could take care of the end of it with, as far as the inspection, and the police will take care if you think there's drugs involved and all. I mean, the mayor, I see him writing things down, so I'm
They
sure he's
have
going to
no
be on top
respect
of
for
it.
anyone on the block, no one.
Okay.
And I have spoke to the landlord. He doesn't care.
If I may, I did get a message from her a couple hours before the meeting, and I did send Mr. Dillon some information with the address and stuff.
I mean, it's the
going
first
on.
I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, she
So it isn't
called me
like-
today, and I did send an email to Mr.
Have you
Dillon.
contacted the borough prior
I
to
didn't tell her to
tonight?
call him there.
Well, last year, it was...
Well, last year, but I
For
mean,
that tenant, it just seems like, no, this is the first time here, but the cops have been out.
I'm saying, usually we respond very quick on,
Okay.
to these things, so if you would call the borough and let us know.
I just thought maybe wait till it was a couple of...
Everybody has how they
incidents.
want to, however they want to handle it is fine, but, thank you. Maybe I moved too quick. Does anybody else on this side of the room want to speak on anything? On this side of the room? That ends public participation. Number 2 on the agenda.
President, I'd like to place a motion on the floor to approve the minutes of 8/9, 9/8, accept the treasurer's report for July, accept the police report, select the fire chief's report, accept the borough inspector's report, and expect the harbor report.
Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Sabatini. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 3.
President, I'd like to make a resolution approving 2011 minimum municipality obligation for the police pension fund.
I have a second. Second by Mrs. Cullen. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a resolution approving the 2011 minimum municipality obligation for the non-uniform pension fund.
Second by Mr. Sabatini. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5.
Mr. President, I'd like to adopt a resolution approving the amended 2010 minimum municipal obligation for the police pension
A
fund.
second. Second by Ms. Rodriguez. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6.
Mr. President, I'd like to adopt a resolution approving the amended 2010 minimum municipal obligation for the non-uniform pension fund.
Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Cullen. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Number 7.
President, make a motion to accept 2009 audit financial statements prepared by Hellman and Company.
Second. Second by Ms. Rodriguez. Questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to vote in favor of this, but I'm voting in favor of accepting or acknowledging the fact that I've received a report.
Do you have any problems with the report?
Well, there's a couple, sure.
Do you want us to bring
One is
it?
that he didn't address the pension plans, and I asked him that last week. Well, I'm not real happy with his report.
Do you
Well, I
want
will vote in favor of accepting it.
them back again?
No, we don't have to come back. He said he's got to do some more work downstairs, doesn't he?
I don't know.
He's doing something.
He's doing the
He's
skating
getting
rink.
another 39 or 3,800
He's
bucks.
doing the skating rink, I believe.
All those in
I believe he
favor?
said he was doing
Aye.
the skating rink.
Opposed? Number 8.
Mr. President, I'd like to put a motion to authorize the purchase of top lot equipment in the amount of $89,140.48 for the Jefferson Avenue complex with community development funds.
Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Sabatini. Any questions or comments?
Did we get a layout, Ralph, of this? What it looks
Pardon me?
going to look like? We have an idea what it's going to look like?
Did you get one?
No, I haven't gotten anything.
Mr. Mussi was at the site with the contractor, with George Waldron, and I think they approved the site, they looked at the site. So I can get you a copy of it, no problem.
Yeah, I'd like to have that.
It's a beautiful layout. It really is.
For 89,000 it should be, but I
Got
understand,
that out of the budget money, that's from the county. We got that money from the county.
I understand that it's about $15,000 left of the community development funds after this purchase.
Mrs. Trinnell, right.
Can we get a list of eligible activities for community development funds?
Why, you don't think the lights are eligible?
Oh, no, I think that's eligible.
Oh,
Let's listen.
Alternatives, what are some of the other things?
Let's, we're on a motion. We have a vote on the floor. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm going to abstain, Mr. Chairman.
Number 9.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to reject the bids for municipal building parking lot rehabilitation per memo dated 9/10/10.
I have a second. Second by Mr. Sabatini. Questions or comments? I think the solicitor and the manager both felt that there were only 2 bidders on this project, and the bids came in higher than we expected. Am I correct?
Yeah, and the other thing is our engineer felt because there was such a large discrepancy between the two that something was being missed. He just didn't feel comfortable with it, so his recommendation is we reject it and take another look at this.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 10.
Motion to approve the settlement with Bernard Mizalki per solicitor's letter dated 8/26/10.
By Mr. Sabatini. Any questions or comments? Could I have a roll call vote?
Mr. Lutz?
Yes.
Ms. Cullen?
Yes.
Ms. Brunel?
No.
Ms. Rodriguez?
No.
Mr. Musi?
Yes.
Mr. Sabatini?
Yes.
Mr. Plansky?
Yes.
Mr. Di Giuseppe?
Yes.
Carried, 6-2.
Anything else? I get a motion to...
I had an opportunity to go past the Borough Garage. I noticed it's no longer a Borough Garage.
Right.
How much did we pay for that?
Pay for what, Mr. Lutz?
Have it knocked down.
It's in the same quote as they're working by the day down there. I think it took them 3 days to do it.
Danucci by the week. We paid him by the week. So you're telling me it was broken down on a per diem basis? It has been?
Broken down the same way he was charging us per machine, and I think it cost, when we were all done, under $4,000.
And I think you said last week that the building out back there is going to be what? Was that 38 or 48?
38, 39?
39.
39. And that cost 4,000, it's 3 times the size?
Well, he was down there, he used bigger equipment, and he just, I mean, it only took him 2 days to knock it down. And it doesn't matter. Because we have a bid out to him as a weekly rate. And in that bid, we included, or we talked about taking down the borough building.
Okay, in the, I'll probably discuss it, we're not going to do anything with that building next door in the parking
Coming
lot
down.
until next month, right?
No. That's scheduled to come down next week.
Next week? Well, does it include the tank? Are we keeping the tank?
We're moving the tank to Danucci's yard to store it there until we know what we're going to do with it. He's going to preserve it for us.
And how much rent are we paying up at the old Bristol tank?
$800 a month.
800 a month?
800 a month.
I mean, I would like to know some of these things before they're actually happening. That's all I have.
Just to bring everybody up to date on the borough yard, as of today, when I was there, all the debris has been sifted. If you go down there right now, they're cleaning up where they ripped down the borough yard. There's going to be 2 piles left, I think, after tomorrow. One is a 150,000 cubic yard of, how many? 150?
10 or
10.
15. The big one you
Right, 15,000 cubic yards of dirt that needs to be tested. What we're waiting for is, can the school use the dirt so that the school doesn't have to go out and purchase dirt to put on their site? We would give them the dirt. We would pay to screen it and send it there. Once the testing comes back, we'll have that decision. If not, we may have to move that off-site, which could run about $100,000. The other thing that'll be left there is this pile of millings, which could be spread over the site, but until we determine where the building's gone and the size of it, we're going to leave that in that pile. And then we think where the borough yard was, we'll plant grass on that side, so when you come down, you'll have a lot of greenery to look at. So everything's moving forward, and hopefully we have drawings and we get this building out to bid in October.
Just a comment real quick, back to Jim, from a construction standpoint, Jim, with the block building, the old Borough Yard, it was almost ready to cave in at this.
Didn't take long.
One shot with a rammer could knock out 1/3 of that building. So block has a tendency of coming down much faster than a wood structure. So,
Mr. Trinnell.
I just wanted to make a comment, if you don't mind. For the residents of West 3 who are in and around Mifflin Street, Linden Street, the PICO is doing an open house on September the 29th about the hazardous substances in and around the fire department from 6 to 8. Since we won't have a meeting previously to that, I just wanted to announce that. So
Meetings at the
September...
firehouse?
Firehouse, sorry. Is that what I said?
Yes.
I don't know. We call them
I think it's
Okay, number
three.
3 is Firehouse. I don't know if I can recognize Mr. Esposito.
Mr. Esposito.
Mr. Chairman, I know I'm out of turn in other participations earlier, but I just have a question, because I heard a figure kicked around about the minimum municipal obligation being $550,000 a year. Is this $1 million worth of expenditures here?
Say this again?
In other words, if you approved it for 2 years, I understood that the uniform and non-uniform municipal obligation for the
Okay.
2 pension plans for 210 was $550,000.
Correct.
So for 2 years, it was $1,100,000?
Mhm.
Is there some reason why it's not mentioned in the motion? I was just curious.
Why it's not mentioned where?
I know, as you make a resolution and you say you're going to pay it, why don't you mention the dollar amount?
Both things are online and at the library and at the borough to review the
I
pension
see.
obligations and all. We discussed at the work session the obligation and how much it was.
The resolutions are in council's packets. They were discussed at the last work session, but, you know,
I mean, it's a fixed cost. It's something that we don't determine how much we got to pay. It's done through the actuary, which I'm sure you're aware of.
It is a substantial amount of money.
you may read it to the
Ah.
records. The minimum municipal obligation for 2011 for the non-uniform is $260,559.97. The 2011 minimum municipal obligation for the uniform, which is the police pension fund for 2011, is $287,100.24. The 2010 amended minimum municipal obligation for the police is $214,161.77. The 2010 minimum municipal obligation for non-uniform is $195,540.38. And it is in excess of $900,000. A lot of that money does come from the state. Some of it will be, no, just let me go with that. Some of it, the contribution.
Do you have, I mean, is there a purpose or that?
No, the only reason I said it is because these motions were all passed, and I thought it was $1 million, and I just wondered why you didn't put the dollar amount in. I wasn't questioning that. I know
The dollar amount was discussed at the work session when we
I
had.
wasn't there.
Right. But I'm saying, all these numbers and figures are online, so are the audits and the obligations that have to pay, but I agree, they should have been on the agenda. I'll have Mrs. Fields make sure next time she puts the amounts down.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.